Welcome guys, welcome back to the channel. Today daily news video will be, I don't know, maybe a pipe dream. The news just quote unquote broke yesterday evening and it picked up this morning. But more, I don't want to say more, some details, not much, but some details, and it's VLAHOVIC. But before we get into it, as always, like the video and especially subscribe. As you can see at the bottom left corner, we're two away from 2,000. So that will be amazing if we get 2,000 today. But yeah, let's get into it. The first piece of news and the biggest one is VLAHOVIC, and it happened yesterday evening. So I'll read all the reports. So it's Gazzetta dello Sport and it's Fabiano Della Valle. It's Nico Schira picking up a bit, and it's Joe Barone, is the general manager from Fiorentina, speaking up. So I'll read everything first, and then we can basically go through everything. So Gazzetta dello Sport, and in particular Fabiana Della Valle, she said Juventus are trying to get ahead of the competition and bring VLAHOVIC to Turin immediately. The proposal for Fiorentina includes money and a player. The player who could be included in the deal is Kulusevski, and she also went on and saying his agent told the club that Dusan is open in joining Juve this January. And then Nico Schira, he said, despite the latest rumors, Dejan Kulusevski is not Fiorentina a target. More than ever, the Swedish mid player will not leave Juve in January. And then Joe Barone, who is the general manager of Fiorentina, he said, he was asked about VLAHOVIC, and he said VLAHOVIC, a few English clubs have been in touch with Fiorentina, but there's no agreement, and there can be one basically if someone does not want to talk, and this someone is VLAHOVIC and his agent. We, in any case, are available to talk. And then he also said we receive no offers from Juventus at the moment for VLAHOVIC. Now, let's start off with basically the main the main point is getting VLAHOVIC in January. That's not possible. Like the article also stated, like it's very difficult. Well, it's kind of obvious that it's very difficult for so many reasons. Well, the main one is we don't have the money. And the second one is, why would Fiorentina sell to us when they are still in the race for top 4? That's one. The only reason Fiorentina want to sell now in January is that they can sell outside of Italy. So no Juve, that's one. And most importantly is to don't sell to Juve at all, not even in the summer. That's Fiorentina's. Those are Fiorentina's intentions. That's that. It's that simple. They don't want to sell to Juve, not even in the summer. So why would they strengthen us now? Like it doesn't. It just makes no sense. Now, it's an ugly situation which they created because they didn't want to sell in the summer. They waited so long until VLAHOVIC said, "I'm not leaving, not even for Atletico Madrid." They created this situation. They went public, calling him out, his agent. They created this whole storm. It's Comiso, it's Joe Barone. They created all this, how do you want to say it? Madness. Like, I don't know how you treat your main asset as a club like Fiorentina that way. Like, they created the whole situation. Now they want to push VLAHOVIC to the Premier League to get the money now and to basically say to other clubs, mainly Juve, you're not getting him. Not now, not in the summer, ever. That's basically what Fiorentina are doing now, and they are pushing the whole Arsenal agenda. Because if you just look at all the reports, it goes from his agents not even picking up the phone to talk with Arsenal. There's no intention to leave for Arsenal. He doesn't want to join Arsenal, period. It's Fiorentina who wants VLAHOVIC to join Arsenal. That's the whole point of the story basically. And so far it's not happening. There's no chance that he is accepting to join Arsenal this summer. He's not doing that. That's pretty obvious. Now, Does that mean we are getting him? Not at all. Especially not in January. Especially, like, it doesn't make sense. Kulusevski needs to agree to Fiorentina. Fiorentina needs to agree that they want Kulusevski. Like, it's impossible. It's like 10 days until the transfer market ends. Like, there's actually no chance, if we are being honest. Now, for the summer, that's a different, how you want to call it, that's a different situation. Can we free up the money? I don't know. At the end of the day, Fiorentina can hold out as much as they want. If Vlahovic says, I don't want to join Arsenal, I'm actually not joining, then, well, you have a choice. Or you're going to sell him to us, or you're going to keep him and lose him on a free. And they're not going to bench him, because they're not going to bench their main striker. They need the money also. So it's a situation they created. And they are basically taking it out on Vlahovic and his agent publicly, which is kind of weird, because it happened at the start of the season already. But yeah, that's the situation. Like, it for me, it remains a dream for January, even in the summer, if you're being honest. Do I believe Vlahovic wants to join us? Yeah, 100%, I believe that. But if we cannot match his the transfer fee, then it's kind of pointless. We, like, reports say we agreed a contract with him. It's 6 million euros. Take it or leave it. I mean, if you believe it or not, it's what it is. But I think he just doesn't want to join Arsenal because they are in a mess. You can say we are in a mess, but the chances of us getting back to competing in a matter of time are much higher than Arsenal doing that, who are struggling for, I don't know, 15 years now, 16 years. Like, it is what it is. They're kind of irrelevant. They're just relevant because they have money and they play in the Premier League and the club is located in London. But in terms of success, they win some FA Cups and that's it. Like, there's nothing out there. There really isn't. And I think he knows that. And he knows he has better options. And that's why he's not accepting. You cannot blame him. Like, and especially mid-season, why would you do that? In the summer, he has more options. Like, he can choose, because we talked about it many times, a lot of strikers are going to move around Europe this season, and he's one of them. So he can kind of demand what he wants at some point, because, well, he will be in the mix of all those names. So I would say for now it remains a dream for me. For January, an unrealistic dream. For the summer, I still think it's very difficult to do for us. But you never know. Like, you need to hope at some point. Maybe it will happen. It depends on us making top 4, us possibly beating Villarreal and moving forward in Champions League to get some more money. It will depend on sales, like on a lot of things. I think talking about now, I mean, in terms of will he join in January, I think that's far-fetched in my opinion. But you can never dream. You can always dream, excuse me. Well, with us, maybe you can never dream at the moment, because the deals we are trying to do or trying to box together, they look kind of weird. Like, kind of, we don't have any money, or not a lot of money, and I think that's why this story is so unbelievable, in my opinion. But we move on from that, and we move on to, well, the next big news thing, and that's Arthur. Now, I will read the report out first. It's from Gazzetta dello Sport, saying Arthur and Arsenal agree on everything. Juve are putting the brakes on the hypothesis of a simple loan for 6 months without an option to buy, even an obligation. The club wants an obligation so they can make a move for Bruno Guimaraes, who remains the number 1 target for now or in June. So basically, Juve they have no problem in letting Arthur go, not even on loan, but they want an obligation to buy, and they want more than 6 months, and they want that obligation so they can put it on the books, knowing, let's say 50 million euro, let's say 45, 40, 50 million euro is coming in, and we can spend that money to get Bruno Guimaraes on loan with an obligation to buy for the same money. That's basically what the club is hoping to achieve. It will depend a lot on Arsenal. Yesterday were reports that they were open to an 18-month loan deal, but still with only an option, no obligation. And I think the club just wants to sell Arthur, and that can be a loan with an obligation, but just they don't want him to come back. And to be fair, like, he's 24, 25, something like that, I think. If Allegri doesn't rate him now, he's not gonna rate him in 18 months time or in 6 months time. He's not 20 or 21 or 19. So him coming back is just not good for him or the club, because he's not gonna play a lot. He's taking up a spot for no good reason, in terms of he's not gonna play. So we can like him, but if the coach doesn't like him and he's in the squad, it makes no sense to me. It's kind of like Eriksen with Inter. Before Conte figured out how to use him, and he actually did very well. But in this case, I don't think. I think Allegri's that stubborn. He will not use him. He will just not, even when he's in need of players. I think he will just stick with what he thinks is best, even if it doesn't really work, and we can see it's not working. So I think Arthur's just gonna stay, and we move on to the next news, which is linked to Arthur, and it's from Tuttosport, and they're saying there's already an agreement in principle between Juve and Gladbach on the basis of compensation, partly in the form of bonuses. The Germans, who have an excellent relationship with Juve, are pushing for an immediate transfer of Zakaria. Now, that makes sense for Gladbach, that they want to sell their player and don't lose him on a free. But like, just going off all the news that's floating around from different type of journalists, even the more reliable one, it doesn't feel like we are actually after Zakaria. It's not like we are really, pushing to get him in, or are we really convinced to bring him in? Like, that's the feeling you get from these rumors. Like, it's just all, I don't know what to say. And maybe it's just because we can't find an agreement with Arsenal to move on Arthur, and that's why there's no real solid news on Zakaria. It's just, we are interested, and we talked with his agent, but nothing real, bam, it's done. We're just now waiting on agreeing to get Arthur out. It's just all premature, and that's why I keep saying I don't think anything is gonna change. But then again, on Sunday it's Milan, and then it's international break. In the last week, basically, of the transfer market, you never know what's going to happen. There's no football. No club football. Things can change really quickly. But, Arsenal, I think they're struggling. I think they have one midfielder now. Like Africa Cup of Nations, injuries, suspensions, all those things. You never know. Maybe Arsenal, they say to Juve, will take the obligation. But for now, going off the rumors, it's very unlikely. It seems very unlikely. So yeah, I don't know. I think if Arthur leaves, it will be Zakaria, because he's the easy option to get. The easiest one of all the names that are being mentioned. So I won't say it's total bullshit, but for now, I don't know. It's not solid for me. But let's see. And then we move on to the striker situation. Again, I just put this news in because, well, I think Di Marzio is moving a bit crazy the last days, or the last months, basically, when it comes to Juve news. He's throwing out names out there who are very unrealistic, very weird, very strange. All the news he's putting out there, and the real, let's say Romeo, they kind of not deny, but they're kind of I don't know if this is true. You get that vibe from them. But he said Icardi to Juve did not happen, so did now in January, because PSG wanted Keane, but having already played in an Everton shirt this season, one game, I don't think even from the start, he couldn't change teams again this season. So basically, what Di Marzio was saying, Juve agreed with with PSG to get Icardi on loan, and Keane would go on loan to PSG until the end of the season, which, well, that will be I won't say a useless deal, but that deal will make no sense at all, because you're kind of still loaning Keane from Everton, because he said in January, not at the start of the season. That's a weird part. But I just put out those news out there. I think it's very far fetched. I don't think it's true, to be honest, because it really doesn't really make a lot of sense. That's that. And then we end the daily news video with Martial. Again, it's a Stampa. They say Juve want Martial. There's a yes of the striker because just he wants to go out. He wants to leave England. It's that simple. He actually is desperate to leave. But United is blocking the move by asking 5 million euros for the loan. And then you also need to pay around 5 million euros net for the remainder of his wages almost. That will be like 10 million euros for the club net. Imagine that being gross, about 60, 70 million euros for, let's say, 4 or 5 months or 4 months. That's insane. That's no club is going to do that, let alone us who are financially struggling. Not Barcelona were interested, not Sevilla were interested. Nobody is doing that. Paying 70 million euros to get a player for 4 months, and he needs to adapt to the league, to the coaching staff, to the players, to the team. Like, it's not gonna happen. Nobody's taking that risk. Also because he's been in a bad form for about a year and a half now. So you need to factor that also in. He's not on form. It's not like he's on fire. So I think it's just, I don't want to say bullshit, but like, I don't know. Maybe if Man U say you can have him, you just need to pay his wage, not even completely, then yeah, a lot of clubs will do that. And then even I'm not sure he wants to join us over Sevilla because his wife is Spanish, and those were the reports basically that they would like to go back, not back, they would like to go to Spain for a while. But let's see. Like I said, I think we're just gonna stay with Morata, and that's it for now. But let's see. Next week, a lot of things can change because, like I said, when there's no football on and when there's an international breaks, things tend to happen much faster and kind of easier. But let's see. So this is basically today's news, or if other news will break, we will be back. But basically this morning's news with VLAHOVIC, the main topic. Like I said, I don't really believe the rumors. I not believe, but I don't think it's possible for January. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Like I said before, we're 2 subscribers away from 2,000. So make sure you subscribe if you're new and help us to 2,000. And then we will be back in the next video. Ciao.